If you believe the terms AM and PM in the standard notation of time stand for antemeridiem and postmeridiem and have their origin in English or Latin, you may have to think again. Samskrutam has similar such terms which stand for Arohanam Martandasya and Patanam Martandasya, which stand for rising of the sun and falling of the sun in the very same context of describing time. Think again. Satya-Steya, the truth beckons you. Even time has an untold history that we will unravel today. To understand the truth about the history of time, let me start by asking you a simple question. What is one of the most accurate method or instrument of measuring time? The atomic clocks. Why? They have a very high accuracy or an error of only 1 second in 100 million years. The history of time measurement goes as far back as 3500 BC when sundials were used as clocks. From there, it took the world around 1600 years to move from a concept of less accurate sand clocks to highly accurate atomic clocks, moving from sand clocks to candle clocks to mechanical water clocks to pocket watches to pendulum clocks, quartz clocks, and finally atomic clocks in 1949. If you try to find out who was the first person to give us the concept of atomic time measurement, you would find the answer as Lord Kelvin in the year 1879. Is this the complete truth? Here's where things start getting more interesting. Do you know what our Gurukuls in Bharat were teaching 1600 years back? The Gurukuls were teaching their pupils an important scripture by the name Srimad Bhagavatam, which unfortunately the West chooses to call Indian mythology. I would like to draw your attention to Canto 3, Chapter 11 of Srimad Bhagavatam and have a look at the topic that is being discussed. Calculation of time from the atom. That says it all. Here are a few important lines from a couple of verses of this chapter. Verse 3. Evam kalopyanumitah saukshme sthaulye cha sattama. The meaning of these lines is, one can estimate time by measuring the movement of the atomic combination of bodies. Verse 4 elaborates it further. It goes, Sa kalah paramanurvai yo bhunkte paramanutam. These lines mean atomic time is measured according to an atom covering a particular atomic space. Now one must remember that this theory is thousands of years before modern science even conceptualized anything close to an atom, let alone an atomic theory of time. And you would be surprised to know that current science or modern science defines 1 second with respect to a cesium-133 atom. You heard it right, one single atom of cesium. The Lord himself gave us the concept of atomic time measurement thousands of years back. Pity is, in just 1600 years, while you and I were sleeping, it changed from Lord Krishna to Lord Kelvin. Before I reveal some more ancient truths about time, I repeat myself again. If you think that the science from Bharat's ancient scriptures and knowledge pool was stolen, let me clarify, that's not true. Let me now reveal some jaw-dropping connections between ancient Bharat astronomy and Samskrutam. Consider this word Ahoratra in Samskrutam, which means 1 day and 1 night. Now, if you drop the first letter and the last 3 letters of this word, you get another Samskrutam word called Hora, which is nothing but 1/24th part of a day, which later on became the hour of Latin and English. Similarly, Hora Adhyayan became horology or study of time, and horoscope or astrology has its precursor as Hora Shastra. All these facts are very well documented in the Brihat Samhita written by Varahamihira, a famous Indian astronomer and mathematician almost 2000 years ago. Here are some more startling connections between ancient Bharat and the Western concept of time. Time in Samskrutam was always known as Kala. From Kala we have another Samskrutam word Kalaka, which means timekeeper, from which originated the word clock. Kalaka, clock. Similarly, another Samskrutam word Kalantar, which means periods of time or intervals of time, gave birth to calendar. Similarly, Kala is also known as Samay in Samskrutam, later morphed into Tamay and then into time. You think all of this is just coincidence? I hope you all wake up to the reality that time, or rather Kala, has its roots in Bharat. The question that still remains is, why don't we know and claim the rich legacy of Bharat? That's the clue to the mother of all thefts which Satya-Steya will reveal. This is Hladini. Happiness here, hereafter.